They're winning. They're taking that one there. They are taking. It's coming home, bruh.
Yeah,
it's coming home. I can feel it. I can see it.
It's a big one for Mamelodi Sundowns because you look at the muted celebrations around the PSL trophy.
Yeah, I like it when you say muted.
Yeah,
as compared to which celebrations. Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Diski Preview Show. My name is yours truly, Mr. E, and I'm joined in the studio by the man himself who will be responsible for giving us more statistics, more permutations, and more predictions. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you the man himself, Mr. Mo. Mr. Mo, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Mr. E. It's great to be on the show again.
As always.
Yeah, no, as always.
Yeah, Mamelodi Sundowns have finally picked up their 8th trophy in a row.
Yeah,
the PSL Champions League. Sorry, the PSL League. It's gone.
Yeah. I love how you say the PSL Champions League.
Because they're going to be taking part in the Champions League. We're going to be talking about them later on in the show. Today we're going to be taking a look at the two big games that will be headlining the weekend, where Mamelodi Sundowns will be playing against the Pyramids. And on the other hand, Kaizer Chiefs still struggling to get into the top 8. They'll be playing against their bogey side, that's Polokwane. What do you think is going to happen in these games? Please let us know in the comment section. What are your thoughts? What are your views? Do you think anything there's going to be an upset? Let us know in the comment section. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, it's our first game. Mamelodi Sundowns welcoming the Pyramids at Loftus Stadium. The big action is taking place at Loftus Stadium this Saturday, the 24th of May, when Mamelodi Sundowns welcome the Pyramids. At stake, it's the second star for Mamelodi Sundowns and the first one for the Pyramids. And the man that I'm with in the studio today, Mr. Mo, is going to tell us what his thoughts are. It's a big weekend for South African football, Mo. It is
a big weekend, Mr. E, and I love how you made it sound like they've already won the star.
They're winning. They're taking that one there. They are taking. It's coming home, bruh. Yeah, it's coming home. I can feel it. I can see it.
It's a big one for Mamelodi Sundowns because you look at the muted celebrations around the PSL trophy.
Yeah, I like it when you say muted.
Yeah,
as compared to which celebrations.
Mr. A, when Kaizer Chiefs wins a trophy, this country goes berserk. People they go to work, the economy stood still. Kaizer Chiefs was going on the radio to every radio station.
Radio station.
I was like, how are these people duplicating themselves?
Yeah, but they should be able to celebrate in that way because, a wait of 10 years is no child's play more.
Yeah, but also in the wake of winning that trophy, one thing that I realized about the Kaizer Chiefs faithful is that they were hungry for this thing for a very long time. The celebrations just said, Tarasnga at all. And I think at the same time, Mamelodi Sundowns fans are caught between a rock and a hard place because they won the PSL, but they won the CAF Champions League. So they don't know to celebrate. Here, the 50%, they're waiting for that one.
The big one.
So it's a 50-50 with them because the job is not done yet for them. As you can see, for most of the teams in the PSL, the job is done. Whatever they've accomplished, they've accomplished. But for Mamelodi Sundowns, the job is not yet done. A lot of people are expecting them to come home with the CAF Champions League trophy. And they have a big test ahead of them, having to face Pyramids FC.
Talking about Pyramids FC, there is one name that tops that conversation there. Ufiston Mayela. He's going to be there playing on Saturday. Do you think the Mamelodi Sundowns defense will be able to stop him?
At this point in time, I think Sundowns will be savvy around how to play around him. I think also you have to also take into consideration that Sundowns' boys, they're on fire now. Remember I made the statement that you can't finish the season with the same players you started with. And if you remember the roles of players like Abo Sales, Abo Suarez, their roles were a little bit more smaller at the start of the year, and you look at them now. In the last game, they were the goal scorers. Ribeiro didn't even make the score sheet. So you look at it from that perspective. I mean, on the one side with Pyramids, we're pointing to one name and one name only as the danger man.
Yes, the danger man. And so if they manage to contain him, that's half the job done.
Then you look on the other side, Sundowns. Not to say that we're biased because we're broadcasting from South Africa, but there's so many names in the Sundowns squad that you have to be worried about, that you have to consider how you're going to be able to stop those guys.
And top of that list is Ribeiro.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the top of it is not just that, Mr. E, they try to make a statement. I think a lot of teams are looking at the FIFA Club World Cup, especially teams that want to go participate.
Yeah.
Those players are excited. And players right now want to make a statement and a point to say, I want to be part of that squad.
Yeah.
I want to be part of the team that goes to the USA to go play in the FIFA Club World Cup.
Yeah.
So now you're facing a Mamelodi Sundowns that's motivated.
Yeah.
And Mamelodi Sundowns with players that are basically focused on playing the World Cup.
Yeah.
A squad that is still mid-season. Because don't forget, for Sundowns, it's not the end of the season. It's still mid-season for them. Because next month they've got the FIFA Club World Cup. So for them, they're not going to be reducing their training regime. They're not going to be saying this is the last game of the season. Because sometimes
there won't be any holidays.
No.
Yeah.
So sometimes, I mean, you have to be. It's like when you're running a marathon, or let's say running 100 meters.
Yeah.
Your last 10 meters becomes the most difficult because you tell yourself what's happening. It's the same thing they say about driving. They say about 70% of car accidents happen within 5 kilometers from home.
Yeah.
Which means that you're vigilant for the rest of the way. But as soon as you get into that final stretch, you start to relax and tire down. So I think on the one side, Pyramids have a lot on their plate as well. They still have to go play the domestic cup. They still have to play for the Egyptian League.
Yeah, and by the way, they're currently sitting at position number 2 in the Egyptian League.
So, but don't forget, they're in the playoffs now because the league is now divided into the playoff. Into the playoffs.
Yeah.
So a lot of it has to do with the fact that for Sundowns, they just need to tick this box. Go to the FIFA Club World Cup. Know that they've qualified for the next installment of the FIFA Club World Cup. And go and represent South Africa and Africa at large. And my thing is still look at the fans of Mamelodi Sundowns. I mean, those are the people we look to as a reference point for where is Sundowns as a team. They are not celebrating the league as much as any other team would have celebrated it because they won this trophy.
But rightfully it should be that way because they've won it for 15 times and 8 times in a row. I think to them it's now just like any other day. But looking at the fact that they're going to be participating in the FIFA Club World Cup, they also have the Champions League to over the weekend. I think they're looking at the bigger picture, not the smaller picture.
They look at the bigger picture, Mr. E, but also the bigger picture is very simple. I mean, this is why the coach was hired in the first place.
You almost said fired there, right?
Yeah, but also this is why Mangoba was fired. This is why.
But I can tell you right now, if he does not bring that star home, things might be different for him shortly after.
I think one thing that will be a consolation for him is that the same, like I said to you, that whoever wins between Al Ahly and Sundowns will go on to win the trophy. The reason for that was you looked at 2 seasoned contenders of this competition. These are 2 teams that have been here before. They've been here, they've lost it, they've won it. That's Al Ahly and Sundowns. Sundowns managed to get through Al Ahly. Now, Pyramids got through Orlando Pirates. Orlando Pirates last won it in the 90s. They haven't won it recently. The last time they were in the final was in the 2010s. So now you're looking at your Mamelodi Sundowns. The last time they won it was in the 2010s. But late 2010s. And the last time they were in the final was in the 2020. So you're looking at Pyramids FC and you're looking at a team that their first installment of this competition was last season. And they were knocked out in the group stages. While this season they made it to the final. So now they're facing a seasoned contender who knows how to get it done, who will look at Pyramids as the team to, you know what, we're just going to, you guys made it this far, but we have to prove a point. Because for them, it'll be a matter of having to prove a point more than it is just winning the match. So for Pyramids to have made it this far is also very impressive in the CAF Champions League.
That's a bold statement. I mean, for a club, I think I didn't know about Pyramids until recent years, but for them to go up until the final in 2025 of the Champions League, that's a statement. That's a statement.
And Mr. E, the last time they were in a continental final was the CAF Confederations Cup in the 1920 season. So that was the season just before COVID. And you're looking at them go from that final which they lost, and they're coming into this final in the CAF Champions League. And every season since then, they've been playing in the CAF Confederations Cup. Only 23-24 did they make it into the Champions League. That's when they got knocked out of the group stages. But even in the CAF Confed, 2020-21, they played Raja Casablanca in the semi-finals and they lost that on penalties. They played TP Mazembe in the semi-finals, or I mean the quarterfinals of the 21-22 season. And then the last season they spent in the Confederations Cup, which was 22-23. They faced Morumo Gallants from South Africa. So, and they went on to lose that one as well. So the one thing I also wanted to allude to was that Pyramids themselves have a long history of losing finals. They've played in a few finals. They lost the one against Pecan in the CAF Confederations Cup. Bear in mind, that was also in their first season of the CAF Confederations Cup. They made it to the final. They lost it by 1-0. They lost the Egyptian Super Cup to Al Ahly. That was in 22-23. They've featured in a couple of Egypt Cups, Egypt Cup finals. The first one was in 18-19. They lost to Zamalek. In 21-22, they lost to Al Ahly. And then they won it in 23-24. This year again, they're in the final against Zamalek. So they're a new threat in terms of the context of getting those trophies. They don't have the historical, CV that Sundowns will have of trophies going back and back. So for them to also, in another perspective, go in and win their first appearance in the CAF Champions League final, they win it. It'll be a very big feat, and I think it'll be something that hasn't happened in quite some time.
That's those are that's then the analysis from Mr. Moore. He's telling us about the Pyramids, how they managed to get to the finals. Now let's look at some of the players that will be playing on Saturday for Mamelodi Sundowns. You did mention earlier on that the only person that we think is a threat from the Pyramids is Umayel. Not Innocent. Fiston.
Fiston.
Not Innocent. That's one player who's going to be a thorn in the flesh of that Mamelodi Sundowns, that defense.
Mr. E is one player that's a threat, but also bearing in mind that from a South African perspective, Ronan Williams is fit, he's ready. And he's going to be, the player you have to always keep in mind when you think about the defense of Mamelodi Sundowns. Sabo Kakana has been so solid for that team. Obru Mudiba, So I think from an individual battle perspective, there's not much to be discussed because you're looking at a team with very well-known names to us, and you look at a team where we probably know one or two names out of the last few weeks of seeing them play. But from that perspective, I think there's a lot of more dangers for
Sundowns.
Not for Sundowns. For Pyramids to deal with. I mean, even if they decide to go with Peter Shalulile, even if they decide to go with Arthur Sales, even if they decide to go, there's so many options that they have, and they have the good squad depth to go on and actually affect this game in a direction that they want to affect it in.
Ribeiro, the top goal scorer for this season. I know that there are some teams that are still to play over the weekend, but I don't think there's anyone who will be able to surpass his 16 goals or so. I think he's been phenomenal throughout the whole season. That's one person. That's one player to be on the lookout for. You also mentioned Osels. He's going to be there, and now Allende as well. He's going to be there in the picture.
Allende is a big part of that midfield. I think he's one of those players that we overlook from time to time in terms of his contribution to the team, but you can't overlook him when it comes to his stats and his numbers. I mean, you need him in that team, and if he's firing on that day, he's going to be a danger for Pyramids.
Yeah, most certainly. Now, do you think Mamelodi Sundowns will be able to pick up the second star?
Mr. E, it's a big question, that one.
And remember, this is a two-legged affair.
Yes.
So how do you think Mamelodi Sundowns will have to approach this one here, knowing fully well that they will have to go to Egypt for the reverse encounter?
Well, Mr. E, it's been a while since Sundowns was in the final of the CAF Champions League. The last time they were in the final, they won it. It was against Zamalek in 15-16. The last two times they were in the semi-finals against Esperance and Wydad that they lost to. So if you look at the recent history, they haven't made it to the final yet. But I think when you're looking at them as a team that's done well in Africa. I mean, last year they won the African Football League, and they won it convincingly against the Wydad Casablanca. I think this final they're gonna win it. I think they're gonna take it. They're gonna bring it back home.
But we're now talking about the events that will
talk about the first leg.
The first leg in Epitori Loftus. How do you think they will have to approach this one? Do you think they will have to score as many goals as possible and try and get a draw when they go to Egypt? Because I can assure you that that day, the second leg, leg is going to be played, it's going to be something else in Egypt.
I think the recipe to this one is play both legs like a final.
Yeah.
Don't play them like a league fixture where you're trying to get a draw and go and finish it there.
Yeah.
Because the thing is with this kind of game is that we've seen it in the past where, Pirates came home with a lead or went to Egypt with a lead and things went wrong in the second leg. So the reality is that you have to play this like it's a final. Both games are a final. You have to go there and make sure you win both games.
And the same should be said for the Pyramids
exactly.
as well. Yeah.
And it's all about who will tire first. I mean, it's a psychological game as well.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go in and you win the first leg by 3-0, you're forcing the other team to go, either get extra motivated or come extra demotivated. So it's both legs to me are a final. So take it as is. Play your hearts out and let's see some good football. And like I said about Miguel Cardoso, I've been saying it the whole season.
Yeah.
His team is proactive when it comes to goals.
Yeah.
These guys know how to score goals.
They know how to score goals.
Yeah, so for them, I don't expect them to go pack the pass in Egypt. I don't expect them to pack the pass in South Africa.
They'll go all out.
There'll be goals. There'll be goals, definitely.
Okay,
definitely.
More certainly. Now let's get to the exciting part of this conversation here. Who do you think is going to be able to win the game when the two teams meet on Saturday?
I think for the first leg, Mr. E, I think Sundowns will win this game.
Yeah.
And I think it will be a convincing win.
Yeah.
I think they'll outplay Pyramids.
Yeah.
Because they faced Pyramids before. I remember in the group stage, like I said last year, where Pyramids came and packed the pass at Loftus Versfeld against the Sundowns.
Yeah.
Ironically, I just remember that's the only game I've ever watched Sundowns from the stands.
From the stands, yeah.
That was the day when I watched the Homokwe and I was like, this guy knows how to play football.
Let's go and watch on Saturday. You can come to Pretoria, man. You can come to Pretoria.
No.
Yeah.
I'll be doing boxing at Carnival City.
Yes. There's boxing over the weekend.
I can't be doing that.
Yeah,
I can't be doing that. But back to the conversation at hand, Mr. Ebe.
Yeah.
I believe that Pyramids themselves, they won't go in and pack the pass. Like I said previously, they came to pack the pass, but it was their first time in the CAF Champions League at that level against Mamelodi Sundowns.
Yeah.
And I believe that result did end in 0-0, and then Mamelodi Sundowns won the second leg 1-0. So that was in Egypt. So I think this time around, gloves are off.
Yeah.
There's no need to manage it because that was a group stage match. Remember, that was a group stage match.
Yeah.
Pyramids were new to the CAF Champions League. They didn't want to get knocked out in the group stages.
Yeah.
So I think, for me personally, gloves are off.
Yeah.
I think Sundowns will go in there. They'll play their best football.
Yeah.
They'll get an early goal. It'll set up maybe a 2-0, 2-1, 3-2 kind of result. So I think both teams will score, but the winner will definitely be Sundowns.
Okay, most certainly. Those are the predictions of Mr. Mo. He's saying Mamelodi Sundowns will be able to beat the Pyramids on Saturday. That game will kick off at 3 o'clock at the Loftus Stadium. Stay tuned. When we come back, we'll take a look at the PSL action that will be at the FNB Stadium, where Kaizer Chiefs will welcome Polokwane City. Rise and shine.